You so much. I really enjoyed you this season so much because you brought a different depth and layering than the other characters in that you have the intelligence, you have the street smarts, you had the ability to control your emotions, your character while being emotional. Just a lot of depth and a lot of nuance to how you portray Effie this season. Before we dive into the season itself, what are three takeaways for you personally from the season?
Like as an actor or like character wise?
As an actor, just as in the life of in the life of Miss Lapri, there's three takeaways.
Yes. Okay. So I would say the first is to remain I always say be water. So like remain teachable and fluid, because when you get things locked in a certain way, it's very hard to get out of that if you don't remain coachable. So that's number one. Number two would be to just have fun and don't put too much pressure on yourself, because when you feel the need to do the most, that's probably when you just need to do exactly what you've been doing. You don't ever want it to come off as forced. And the third would be, I would say the third would be to study, study. I've always heard to take 1 hour out of your day to dedicate to your craft. So when I'm working and we're doing an active season, I take that very seriously and just watching all the classics and how does this actor portray this? How does this actor portray this? Let me take that and let me add it to my repertoire. So yeah.
I like that. I received that from you because that's some really sage advice that could be applied to any craft. So I like that. I like how you articulated that.
Thank you.
So Miss Effie, a beautiful woman who knows her strengths, is a very dangerous woman.
Oh, yeah.
And do you think that Effie was respected the way she should have been this season? Because she was making moves and making things happen in just such a beautiful, sort of graceful way that people didn't even notice. She was handling the business more so than we even know.
Yeah, I think that especially as season 3 goes on, we'll really get to see how much of a solid piece of the puzzle that she is. But I think it's also very easy to love and hate her. Sometimes the things that she's doing, they seem a little rash, and it's very easy to just not like her. But I think if you look at the bigger picture, a lot of these things did have to be done, such as Lauren. She didn't want Brayden or Kane to be caught on the wire, because that's traced back to her. It's traced back to Tariq. And she didn't want Kane to kill Brayden for not killing Lauren. So it's like there was just this slew of things that could have happened if she didn't do what she did. So, we have to wait and see what's coming.
From when I just kind of looked around at kind of general sentiment and just saw what people thought of the characters, I feel like Effie was a very likable character, although she did things that were not legal, sometimes a little bit immoral, but overall, she still maintained kind of like solid person, kind of in a sense like Tommy, just a real one who are holding her people down. How much attention do you pay to fandom? Because the Power is such a huge juggernaut now in TV and just in the culture in general. How much do you pay attention to that?
I used to pay attention a lot more than I try to these days. I always pay attention because our fans are the best. Literally, they make this a part of their weekly ritual. And they're so invested, and that's so much fun to watch. But at the same time, people can get very carried away. And I've always been the type to have tough skin and not really care what people say, but I'd say it's more so a pressure thing for me. A lot of people give the whole, like, you're amazing and you're a standout, you're a breakout star. And that's really good to see, but it's just pressure. It makes you feel like you have to do more, kind of like what I was saying earlier, when really just keep the exact same and we'll be fine. So yeah, these days I've kind of been staying off a little bit.
I don't blame you. It's a safe space to stay off, believe me. So that's a place to be in. So by the time people watch this, the finale will have aired. We know little homegirl didn't make it, but I like kind of the way that it's a little tricky of what exactly happened to her. We didn't see you do anything. When
Mhm.
you knew you were going to make it, because in Power anybody could die at any time.
Yeah.
When you found out the full scope of your character and that you were going to make it and Lauren was not, how do you
Mhm.
react to seeing the script or the story just personally as a performer?
I was shook it reading the script as soon as it got. I always read it as soon as it's sent over, and I was just like, what? And I remember I kind of had a heads up because Courtney was in the room with me and Toya, who plays Diana, and she was like, one of you guys might have to be my hitter. I was like, I'll do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. But I didn't actually know that it was going to happen until I got the script. And it's an exciting thing to play as an actor, but at the same time, it's really sad to lose someone that's on the cast because you do become family. So it's kind of bittersweet, you know?
We lost two. We're going to lose two big people. We're going to lose Lauren and we're going to lose Zeke. And
Zeke broke my heart.
I did too. He broke mine too. I talked to him yesterday, and like you just mentioned, you become a family, and he just talked about you all and how much he loved the experience, and just this
Yeah.
whole process for him was just so wonderful and rewarding. Have you seen the finale? Have you watched it?
I have. Yes. Yeah, I did see it.
How did you react to Lauren's disappearance and Zeke just getting outright just capped on the runway?
Yeah, I'd say the Zeke moment really, really hit me. And my sister, actually, she got to see a few little clips along with me. And I was just like, this like made me really sad. Like I got chills watching this just because of the simple fact that this was the one person that stayed out of everything. He wasn't a drug dealer. He was just a simple guy trying to play basketball. And his death was so like in the back. That's eerie. That's really crazy. And then with the Lauren disappearance, that's just crazy because she's literally lying directly to Tariq's face. So I know that people are probably gonna hate me even more because it's such a snaky thing to do, killing someone that, you know, he was in love with her. I think he, you know, he loved Lauren. And so it was snaky for sure.
It was interesting because I didn't foresee that, because you know with this huge power universe, people like to make the comparators like, oh, this person's like this person from this season and this person's like this person to this season. So I fully expected to see Effie make it, but Lauren really threw me a curveball because there's the inevitable comparators to the first version of the show, comparing her to Angela. So what is this for Effie? And
I'm sorry, my iPad just did something super weird.
Oh, that's okay.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Perfect. I'm sorry, continue.
So what do you think this means for Effie and Tariq's relationship? I know you guys are immersed in filming, but just stopping it at this point, what does this mean? How has this changed Effie? Because I watched her when she got back into bed with Tariq, she just looked so traumatized. And
and that's exactly, I'm happy that you pointed that out because that's exactly what I was going to say. She's not used to this. She's not used to that. She's a lot of things, but she's not a killer. So yeah, that was monumental. And the song in the back that's being played is a huge message. It's very intentional. And so if everybody just goes and listens to that song back, it's very, very important to the scene that's being portrayed.
For sure. Okay, I'm gonna go back and listen to that, because I just your face, and because we're used to Effie being very tough, very focused, very calculating, and just to see that kind of little crack in the vulnerability, I'm super excited to see how she's going to evolve now in the aftermath. Some people fully embrace it like a Tommy and just become a killer, and then some people shy away. So we don't know, because she is a smart woman too. So we don't know what's going to happen with her.
Yeah, she's a wild card. It's kind of hard to tell because just as much as she is falling in love with Tariq, possibly is already, she also always looks out for self, because she's had such a tough time not having the love of parents, and always kind of having to be so independent and do everything on her own and pay her way through school and make good grades. And, you know, so who knows? Who knows which direction she's going to go in?
Maybe all this time we had it a little twisted. Maybe Effie is more like Angela instead of more like Tasha. You know, and this was enough to, you know, break her out of the light. We never know. That's a great thing about a character like Effie. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's the fun part. It's kind of just up to the viewer is to who they feel is like who. And, you know, it's really fun to see everyone's comparisons.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, some of my favorite moments over this season are anytime it's Michael Rainey's character Tariq and a young man that plays Brayden. The trio of you guys is so funny, going back from the choke days to where we are now. Shooting on those days with those two gentlemen, what type of how has the camaraderie evolved between the three of you? Because you guys have been together now for a while.
Oh yeah, in person and character wise, I think everything is it's just deepening. Like the chemistry is building, everything is becoming a lot more just natural. You know what I mean? Me, I always have a super fun time shooting with Gianni that plays Brayden. He is easily one of the funniest people I've ever met. And Michael is he's so fly, and being the only girl in the mix for so long was very interesting. But yeah, I think it always was very, very magical on camera. So it'll only continue to do that as the season progresses. Yeah,
for sure.
Hopefully we can continue the little back and forth that Effie and Brayden have, because everybody seems
I love it. I mean, you need that little comedy, that little break in, just kill, crazy Brayden, kill,
Right.
crazy Brayden, and wonderful Effie. Well, ma'am, I thank you so much. Congratulations on a marvelous season. You did a wonderful job. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it to the other side. And
so excited.
And I can't wait. There's just so many possibilities for Effie, and I can't wait. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me. It's been great. Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye.